and nam aparad. In this stage, there is no possibility of achieving perfect love of Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Therefore, one must chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra according to the principles of the above verse, Trinadapi Sunichina, Toror Iva Sihishnana. One should note in this connection that chanting involves the activities of the upper and lower lips, as well as the tongue. All three must be engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The words Hare Krishna should be very distinctly pronounced and heard. Sometimes one mechanically produces a hissing sound instead of chanting with the proper pronunciation, with the help of the lips and the tongue. Chanting is very simple, but one must practice it seriously. Therefore, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, advises everyone to keep this verse always strung about his neck. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Harinam Prabhu ki.
Where's the other half of the family?
Yeah, on the way.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Nanda ki.
Jai.
Jai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari.
Thank everyone for coming back. We'll read something about this. You were thinking, oh, everyone's getting it's too much today, 2 programs. I'll read something Prabhu said. He started this movement to engage everybody 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness. So, we're going to read a couple of verses from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, pursuing the Divyangi Mataji's question about how not to get stuck in this process of cleansing away the unwanted things, anartha nivriti, for many lifetimes. Struggling and maybe getting disappointed or whatever. Because we all want to, realize the happiness of Krishna consciousness, feel relationship with Krishna. We need a little encouragement. I'll start with some verses and Danakeli will continue. I'm reading from the 5th canto, chapter 12, text 12. The chapter is Rahugana converses with Jad Bharat. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So I'll just chant through the verse. Raghunai tattapasanayati.
Oh, which canto is sloka?
It's 5th canto, chapter 12. I can just chant through it. Most people don't.
It's 5:12:12.
5, 12, 12.
12.
Chapter 12, text 12. Raghunai tattapasanayati nache jaya nirvapanadvihadva na chandasa naiva jaladni suryair vina mahatpadarajo prishekam. Translation. My dear King Rahugana, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder life, leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire in the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto. This is from Brahma Samhita. Prabhupada's paraphrasing. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following the directions of the Vedas. Very difficult by reading all the Vedas. Vedeshu durlabam, but adurlabam atma bhakto. But very easy by taking shelter of Atma, the Lord's pure devotee, his own devotee. One has to approach a pure devotee. Anyabhilashitar shunyam jnana karmadhyanavratam. So one who is free, shunyam, from any other anyabhilashita, any other desires other than pure devotional service, other than loving service to Krishna. And jnana karmadhyanavratam, free from any desires, just to cultivate knowledge, or any fruit activities. Not finished with all that. So this is pure devotee. By the grace of such a devotee, one can understand the absolute truth, Krishna, and one's relationship with him. A materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. This is denied in this verse. Nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmacharya, celibacy. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. We'll read the next verse also. Just one thought that's popped up. The verse ends that the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So we chant this Guru Vastakam prayers every morning. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. By the mercy of the Supreme Lord, one can receive the mercy. By the mercy of the pure devotee, one can receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Yasya prasada nagati kotopi, but without that mercy of the pure devotee, one cannot count on anything substantial happening. So this is a very, very strong point. And the next verse continues. Yatro tamushloka gunanuvada prastuyate gramya kata vighata nishevyamano anudinam mumukshor matim satim yachati vasudeve. Translation is, who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, forms, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of the absolute truth abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. Prabhupada's purport. The symptoms of pure devotees are described in this verse. The pure devotee is never interested in material topics. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has strictly prohibited his devotees to talk about worldly matters. Gramya varta na kahibe. One should not indulge in talking unnecessarily about news of the material world. One should not waste time in this way. This is a very important feature in the life of a devotee. A devotee has no other ambition than to serve Krishna. So devotional service, as we mentioned this morning, is ahitikiya pratiyata, unmotivated and uninterrupted. And if it's interrupted, that's going to slow the whole process, especially of purification. We're trying to come to the stage of pure devotion. But by practicing devotional service, we're purified. So if we, with fixed intelligence, practice under the direction of a pure devotee and satisfy him, thus we attract the Lord's mercy. But if that practice is interrupted with too much material interactions other than the basic necessities for our simple living, then the result is slowed. A devotee has no other ambition than to serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Krishna consciousness movement was started to engage people 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. The students in this institution engage in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. They actually have no opportunity to waste their time unnecessarily by discussing politics, sociology, and current events. These will go their own way, these material things. They're going to happen. We have another mission. We have a transcendental mission for ourselves and to share with others. This is Lord Chaitanya's movement. A very absorbing movement. Finally, Prabhupada says a devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. So we have to have a proper vision of what is our life and activities. We can immediately take up full devotional service, fill our life up with devotional service. And Prabhupada, that's how this movement started very dynamically, because Prabhupada gave directions, and very quickly, by Krishna's arrangement, there was facility to devotees to live together, and their full time was sadhana and the service of distributing the holy name and distributing the teachings of Krishna. So it's easy to talk about, I mean, in one sense, that when we're when most everyone in our group are responsible householders that have to go out and make their living, take care of family. A lot of material topics, a lot of material interaction. So that's a challenge. So to make that workable and still dynamic thing for going forward, there has to be sufficient of the internal devotional activities, hearing and chanting. And then smarana, you can remember Krishna. And then all 9 processes can come in. Even our work, we're meditating, it's just a support. Our occupation is just a support for our devotional service. And we're always thinking of that. And Krishna consciousness is so powerful that even, the work isn't every moment of the day, so we can be thinking, we can be hearing, we can even be chanting sometimes. How we're going to enliven our family with devotional activities. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. So many things. So back to the first verse. Unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of a great devotee, one cannot realize the absolute truth. Last sentence. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth. Just hear this, how it's worded, the verse. But the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So what does Krishna, how does Krishna instruct? Standard process. Bhagavad Gita. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashanena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tadvidarshana. So to approach that self-realized soul, tadvidhi, how? Pranipatena. Flat obeisances. Namaste, Namo, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. So, Nama is a dual word. It indicates negating the ahankara, the false ego. Prabhu says blank slate, just clean. I have nothing. I'm coming with nothing. I'm just wanting mercy. I'm wanting to understand the highest perfection of human life and how to get there. And somehow or other we're taking faith. And, okay, here's the person who can give me. Pranipatena, pariprashanena, so with sincere and relevant questions and inquiries pertaining to how I can go forward. And if there's any those doubts and misunderstandings. And then seva with service, just okay, anything, whatever I can do for service. So a standard process. And at any time in history by anyone. Even be he a great enlightened personality. Srila Prabhupada gave the example. He was worshipping Krishna, doing Jagannath Rath Yatra when he was, not even 10 years old, right? Organizing. So from birth, great devotee. He said to the devotees, there was never a time I did not remember Krishna. Then he started with some material education, and his friend just had to drag him to this meeting with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And immediately with little interaction, he said, I felt that I had met such a nice saintly person, and I was always thinking, I never stopped thinking of the first instructions that he gave me. So he said, immediately within my heart I accepted him as not officially, but within my heart, as my spiritual master. And so then he was thinking of the instructions and thinking how to serve his whole life. And even the Christians, they're right when they come. Jesus is the only way. Because the only way is to take the instructions of the representative of the Lord and execute them. This is time, place, and circumstance. So at that time he was, for those people, he was the only way. So if we're very fortunate to come in contact with a pure devotee, which we all are sitting here, associate at least with his Vani, his sound direction, he's present in his words, then take it to heart and apply it to the life. Or we have to pray for sincerity to accept that and execute it. There's an order. There's an order for sadhana, there's an order for service. And then the more we hear from the pure devotee, we see his mood. Also we can imbibe his intensity of purpose. And see how he's anyabhilashita, he's engaged, with unmotivated and uninterrupted in the service of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya's movement is to take the holy name, take the instructions of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya said, I order everyone in the universe to accept this Krishna consciousness movement and spread it everywhere. So we all have an order. Yaride Tarikaha Krishna Upadesh Amar Agyai Guru Hanatar wherever you go, whomever you meet, give them the instructions of the advice, the directions of Krishna. Become on Lord Chaitanya's order, become a level of guru in that sense. It's a very full acceptance. Not just a part-time, like a lot of the religiosity we see today seems to be part-time and materially motivated. So, to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees can be literal, that actual dust from the feet of the devotees. It's considered one of the most purifying things. Or we can take it as the instructions and the order of the devotee. Just take it completely, and not fanatically, but with deep understanding, execute it. He has a mission, and we accept his mission. Prabhupada said, now I have given you this now, and I will pass away. Now you please take it and do the same thing I've done. So devotee means to actually devote his life to. So there's no time, there should be no time to waste in our life. Even materially speaking, those who are successful, they've done it because they've managed their time so they've really filled up their life with what they want to achieve, making millions, business, making millions of dollars, or doing humanitarian work, whatever. Or student life, you all know. It's very, students have very little time. So. And by Krishna's arrangement, we have the opportunity, because Prabhupada left us the whole process in very great detail in sound vibration. So if we want to become absorbed, really get the mercy, then you just have to spend time hearing from Srila Prabhupada like this morning. And there's a lot to hear, and there's a lot of instructions. There's a quote somewhere Prabhupada said that you must follow all my instructions. It means we have to read all the books. We have to, so there's conversations. We're so fortunate. This movement has such a strong, it's established just in 10, 12 years with Prabhupada's words. We're so pure devotee, as opposed to other movements that, we're speculating on what their founder established many times. Prabhupada came right at the beginning of all this modern technology, where a lot of his words were recorded and books nicely printed, edited, published. It's up to us to become a very serious follower. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So earlier today, we were discussing how in order to actually attain perfection in devotional service, that one must come to the platform of true Ananya Bhakti, which means pure, unmotivated, uninterrupted, undivided, exclusive devotion to Krishna. And we were also explaining that due to doubts that we harbor in our heart, either purposely or inadvertently, that these doubts in our heart cause many anarthas to manifest, and this causes us to hesitate to fully surrender to Krishna and engage in Ananya Bhakti. And the verse that we selected from Bhagavad Gita 7.1 indicated that a person will not actually be free from the encumbrance of doubts until they reach the asakti stage, which is a quite advanced stage of devotional maturity. Out of the 9 stages, that's stage number 7. So after Narta Nivritti, there's Nishta or steadiness, and then Ruchi or affinity, and then Asakti, where the mind is completely attached, the heart is completely attached to Krishna. So we pointed out a few verses in the Bhagavad Gita in which Krishna indicates that unless and until one is on that level, that unless and until one's heart is free from all doubts and firmly situated on the platform of Ananya Bhakti, the platform of Asakti, that only when one reaches that stage is one guaranteed of not taking birth again and, going back to Godhead. So we were mentioning that we're in a precarious condition right now when we're still thinking about whether I should surrender fully to Krishna